Hello everyone. So today my topic is classification of a transmitter. So transmitter are device that generate and send signal over various medium such as air, cable, or space, typically for communication purpose. They are classified based on several criteria, including the type of signal they transmit, their frequency range, power output application, and modulation technique. Uh, we will go to detail for each item. So here is the classification of transmitter. So radio transmission can be classified based on the following factor. One is based on signal type. Two is frequency range employed based on power output. Four based on application. Five type of modulation, and six uh, based on technology. And the last one is service involved. So we go through together for each item. So it based on the signal type. Signal type, if you know, we studied before, is it has analog transmitter and digital transmitter. For analog transmitter, the function transmit analog signal where the information is represented by continuous wave. And for application, it broadcast radio and TV, two-way radio. For digital transmitter, the function is transmit digital signal where the information is represented by the discrete binary data 0 and 1. And for the application, mobile network, digital broadcasting, and data communication. Okay, and this one is based classification based on frequency. So low frequency transmitter, the frequency range is from 30 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz. And for the application is for navigation system, AM long wave radio broadcasting. And medium frequency transmitter, frequency range is from 300 kilohertz to 3 megahertz. The application used for AM radio broadcasting. Point number C is high frequency transmitter. Frequency range is from 3 megahertz to 30 megahertz, and it's used for shortwave radio, amateur radio, maritime communication. And point number D, very high frequency transmitter. Frequency range from 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz, and it is for used for FM radio, television broadcasting, and air traffic control. And point E, ultra high frequency transmitter, frequency range from 300 megahertz to 3 gigahertz, and it used in television broadcasting, mobile phone, and Wi-Fi. And super high frequency and extremely high frequency transmitter, frequency range from 3 gigahertz to 30 gigahertz for super high frequency, and 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz is for extremely high frequency, and it's used for satellite communication, microwave link, radar, and 5G mobile network. Okay, next is classify based on power output. So low power transmitter, power output less than 1 watt. The application is used for Bluetooth device and small wireless communication device and or RFID tag. And point B, medium power transmitter. Power output 1 watt to 100 watt. An application used for Wi-Fi router, mobile base station, small scale broadcasting station. And for the last one is point C, high power transmitter. High power transmitter. Power output more than 100 watt. Application is for radio, television, broadcasting station, light communication, satellite, military communication system. So next is classified based on application. So the first one is a broadcast transmitter. Function to transmit signal for radio, television broadcasting. The type is AM, FM, digital TV transmitter. And for the application is public broadcasting of radio and video content. Point B, communication transmitter. Function transmit a signal for two-way communication. Type mobile phone has a station transmitter, walkie-talkie, and transmitter, satellite communication transmitter. And for application used for telecommunication, satellite communication, and emergency service. And point C, a radar transmitter. Function to transmit high frequency signal to detect object and measure their distance, speed, and the other characteristic. And for our application used for weather radar, air traffic control, military radar. And point D, telemetry transmitter. Function to transmit data from remote or inaccessible point to receiving system from monitoring. Application is for spacecraft, aircraft, environment monitoring. And point E is microwave transmitter. Function transmit microwave frequency signal for point-to-point communication. Application microwave communication, link, satellite uplink, television signal distribution. And the next one is classification based on modulation technique. Point A is amplitude modulation transmitter. Function is modulate the amplitude of carrier wave to encode the signal. Application used for AM radio broadcasting. AM transmitter use amplitude modulation technique for modulating the carrier. That transmitter can be used for radio broadcasting on long, medium, and short wave. So point B, frequency modulation transmitter. The function is modulate the frequency of carrier wave to encode the signal. And for the application is used for FM radio broadcasting, two-way radio, FM transmitter use frequency modulating technique for modulating the carrier wave. That transmitter can be used for radio broadcasting in VHF and UHF range. So we come to point C, phase modulation transmitter. Function use modulate the phase of carrier wave to encode the signal. and it used for certain type of digital communication system. PM transmitter use pulse modulation technique for modulating the amplitude, width, and positive of the pulse carrier. For the it use pulse amplitude modulation, pulse width modulation, and pulse position modulation respectively. And point D, pulse modulation transmitter. It uses power of varying duration, amplitude, or frequency to transmit information. The type pulse amplitude modulation, pulse width modulation, and pulse position modulation, and it used for digital communication and radar system. And next is classification based on technology. So technology is we have three point here. Is one is analog transmitter, function to transmit signal, analog signal through the modulation of continuous carrier wave. Application used for traditional radio and TV broadcasting. And on B, digital transmitter function is digital using the secret modulation technique. Application used for modern communication system including digital TV, mobile network, and Wi-Fi. And point C, software-defined radio (SDR) transmitter. Function used to use software to perform signal processing tasks, following for the greater flexibility and reconfigurability, and for application used for advanced communication system, military communication, research and development. So the last one is based on the service involved. Based on service involved, a radio transmitter can be classified as broadcast transmitter. It may be either the amplitude modulation or frequency modulated. These transmitters are designed for transmitting speech, talks, music, etc. The electromagnetic energy also radiated from the transmitting antenna, and the large number of persons may be able to receive the broadcast with the help radio receiver. And point two, the transmitter are designed for the radio telephone transmitter. Designed for telephone signal over a long distance by the mean of radio. A radio telephone transmitter use certain special device as volume compressor, speed limiter. Point three, radio telegraph transmitter. Transmit a telegraph signal from one radio station to another radio station. It may be either AM or FM when point-to-point radio communication is involved. And point four, television transmitter. The television broadcast require two transmitter, one for transmission of picture and the other one for transmission of sound. On 5, radar transmitter. There's a transmitter of two types. One is pulse radar, or we can say transmit pulse modulation of carrier. Second one is CW, radar transmitter, use frequency modulation of carrier voltage. And the last one is navigation transmitter. For sea and air navigation, use special type of radio transmitter for a number of navigational aid. So come to the summarize. Transmitter can be classified a number of ways based on their signal type, frequency range, power output application, modulation technique, and underlying technology also service involved. Each classification show a specific purpose, catering towards communication need from simple radio broadcast to complex satellite communication and modern mobile network. Understanding this classification help in the selecting the appropriate transmitter for given application and designing effective communication system. So that's all for classification of transmission. Thank you.